Hey guys, I am here with a kind of fun video for you. I'm going to be taking my Morphe 350 palette and trying to do as much as possible on my face, which means I'm going to try to use it for not only my eyes, but also my blush, contour, bronzer, highlight, eyes, and brows. So I am doing this because I just want to show the versatility of a larger eyeshadow palette like this, and I'm also trying to do a lot of videos towards affordable makeup and such, and I think that this would be a very good investment for someone that is kind of starting their makeup collection, maybe just getting into makeup or needs a lot of products. I am filming a affordable makeup starter kit that costs like $100 for every single thing that you need except for brushes, just all the makeup bits. And that kind of inspired me to do this tutorial because I know not a lot of people have $100. The Morphe 350 or a palette similar to it is a product that is mentioned in the starter kit, but it was just kind of more so focused for the eyes and brows. But I also wanted to show that you don't have to spend all that money to get a lot of products. If you have an eyeshadow palette that has a wide range of colors, then you have pretty much everything that you need. Obviously, I am already wearing my foundation and concealer, and I have set that with a powder, but pretty much everything else, except for I think mascara and possibly lips, I don't know, we are gonna be using the Morphe 350 palette for. I haven't done a dry run of this or anything. I'm just kind of like, let's do it. So that's what we gonna do. We're gonna try and make this work. Now the pans in these are pretty small, so I do recommend grabbing some smaller brushes. I did grab a few, so hopefully these work in these pan sizes. So the first thing I do after I set my face is I always contour. There is pretty much a brown in here for every skin tone that you could contour with and also bronze with. You can go from a very pale skin tone to a very dark skin tone, and you should still be able to accomplish this. I think for my contour today, I'm going to be mixing this shade right here and just a tiny bit of that shade to darken it up a little bit. I have this little Smashbox brush that I got for free, so I'm gonna mainly dip it into the cooler tone one and then slightly into the darker one and tap off the excess. And I don't know how pigmented this is gonna be on the face, so I'm just going to lightly apply it just to see how this goes. It is giving me a really, really natural contour. I could adjust this as necessary to get it to be darker or more intense, so I am just gonna build it up a little bit and do the same thing on this side. So far this is working out just fine. I will blend this out with a larger brush later, but so far so good. It's giving a really nice, it actually kind of looks like an actual shadow on my face. Like I've got really hollow cheekbones. So I mean, it is working out just fine, and I am also gonna do it on my forehead. I have a very large forehead, so I always contour my forehead, but that's just me. I'm just gonna use this like I would any contour powder and hope for the best. And please excuse my appearance today. I worked last night and I got home from work and there was a house posted in Deltona, and Trevor and I are looking for a rental. Our last one fell through and I was so excited about it, and this one looked even better and it was cheaper. It had everything we were looking for, so bam, as soon as it was up, it wasn't even up 45 minutes, and I put in my application for this place, and the lady called me and she's like, well, you're one of 3 people that applied. The first people we probably won't go with, but there is a man and a wife that are gonna do a walkthrough on Tuesday, and if they don't want it, then you'll be next in line. I'm like, no. I haven't slept all day because I've been like so excited to hear about this house, and I was like, yes, I got my application in so soon. And only to find out that we still weren't the first people to apply for this place. And it was only on the site 45 minutes, and I had to do like a full-on application, pay the fee, do the background check, and someone else beat us to it. And I cannot believe that. The housing market in the summer is insanely competitive. But that is why I have these like ridiculous circles under my eyes and why I went for like beach hair. I was like, oh, who cares if my hair's dry? Let's just throw some surf spray in it. Yeah, this is what you get. You get messy, non-beachy Adrienne. And I am gonna go down the sides of my nose a little bit with this. And under my lip. So far I think that it looks nice for contouring. You do have to work a little bit harder to blend these shadows as opposed to, you know, a bronzer or a face powder that I would personally normally grab to contour with, but it did work just fine if I focused on blending. I do not think that it looks bad. I think that it looks just fine. And next I'm gonna go on to bronzing. I think this is where we're gonna have the most trouble. I think I'm gonna go with this shade here. Maybe mix this shade and the cooler shade that I contoured with. And I'm just gonna go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills Kabuki brush and get a little bit of both of these shadows on here. And just really lightly try and warm up the face. It is a bit more red tone than what I personally like because I'm really fair. So I like a really neutral kind of bronzer, but it does not look bad. It definitely is warming up my face. It doesn't look red on my face. It doesn't look overly orange. So overall, I am so far satisfied with how this is going. Okay, so now that I have bronze and I'm actually liking how this is looking so far, I'm just gonna kind of clean off that little kabuki brush a little bit, make sure I get all the bronzer off. And then I'm gonna pick one of these shades to use as my blush for the day. And I think that this one right here is probably the most suited to my outfit. So I think that I'm going to choose this shade for my blush. And I'm just gonna take the kabuki brush and dip it in there, tap off the excess, and pray to the makeup gods. Sometimes I like to do a little bit of a pop on my actual like cheeks, so I'm going to take this like brighter orange shade here and just take a little bit on the kabuki, and I'm just gonna put it on the apples of my cheeks. And then I'm going to rub off the excess on my hand and blend it in. So far I actually am quite liking how this is turning out. And now before I highlight, I'm actually gonna take just a little bit of my face powder and just a tiny bit. I like to do this pretty much every time I do my face. And I'm just gonna take the tiniest bit of this finishing powder and I'm gonna kind of blend everything so it looks a little bit more muted and more natural. That is that. Now it's time for the highlight. I'm gonna take my Morphe M501 brush and let's see. We have a few shades in here that could work as a highlight. I think I'm actually gonna mix these two shades together. This one's a little bit more bronzy and this one is a little bit more pink. So I'm actually just gonna mix it and apply this to my cheekbones. I'm also gonna go down the bridge of my nose, do the tip of my nose, my Cupid's bow, and I like to do a little bit around my brows as well. And it actually gave a really nice, subtle, for me, highlight. I normally like it to be even more intense than this, but it came out quite nice. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyes. I'm probably just gonna do something simple today. I'm not going anywhere fancy. I'm just driving to my sister's. I have some stuff I have to do for my new job tomorrow, and I am touring a house that we might be renting, but I don't love it like the house that someone else is in line for, so fingers crossed that that one works out. But I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyeballs. I did put some concealer on my eyes when I was doing my face. So I'm just gonna take a nude shade from this palette and pretty much set everything down with that, just to make blending a little bit easier. And I'm gonna take this white shade here and just go under my brow bone. So next I'm gonna do a crease shade. I'm gonna go in with the shade that I bronzed with today, and I'm just gonna warm up my crease with that. Kind of go around my eye like a C. For my lids today, I think I'm gonna go in with this taupe color here. I'm just gonna apply that with my fingertip. I usually apply my lid color with my fingertip and then I blend it out with a brush. And I'm just gonna take that same brush and blend it out so there aren't any harsh lines. Not really popping as much as I want it to, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this kind of gold copper shade and I'm gonna apply it right to the center of my lid to kind of give it a little bit more dimension. And I'm just gonna take that light highlight shade and put it in my inner corners, also under my brow bone. And I'm gonna just mix a couple of these browns together and just go underneath my lower lid here. Moving on to brows, I'm just gonna take this Morphe double-ended brush and spoolie, and I'm gonna brush out my brows first. And then I'm gonna take this shade right here, this kind of taupey brown shade, and this kind of neutral shade next to it, and I'm going to just kind of fill in my brows a little bit. You can use these just like you would any other brow powder. I personally don't fill in my brows really thick. I just like a little bit to finish them off. So that is what I'm gonna do, but you can do them as intense as you want. These shadows will work just fine for that. Then I'm just gonna brush through them with the spoolie again. For liner today, I am just gonna take this really, really dark chocolate brown here, and I'm going to line my eyeballs. I mean, what else would you do, Adrian? And I'll zoom you in a little bit for this. I'm also going to take this down to my waterline and try to do that as well. I'm going to go ahead and curl my lashes and apply mascara. I'm just going to use the Tarte Gifted mascara because it's here on the table. So the only thing that I had in my purse that I think will work was this CoverGirl Oh Sugar lip balm. So I'll put it on so you can see how pigmented it is, which isn't much. Like, it's just kind of a sheer color. I'm gonna go ahead and top it with something from the Morphe 350 just to really go all out. And I think I'm gonna go for like a fun kind of metallic look, and hopefully this works. So I'm just gonna take this kind of shiny metallic shade and I'm gonna tap it on top of the balm and just kind of zhuzh it around a little bit. That's more metallic than I was looking for. So I'm gonna go in with this pinky red shade and just go right on top. Maybe make it a little bit more subtle, a little less hideous. Just mixing all sorts of colors up in here. And there we have it. So I think that this went amazingly well, surprisingly. In case you missed the beginning of this video, which maybe you were peeing, I don't know, I used other products for my base. So off camera, I applied the Clean Matte CoverGirl BB cream and concealer and then this powder. But everything else on my face other than my mascara is the Morphe 350 palette. This was used for my contour, my bronzer, my blush, my highlight, my eyeshadows, my eyeliner, my waterline, and my lips, which is pretty freaking amazing in my opinion. So it does not have to be the Morphe 350 palette. It doesn't even have to be a Morphe palette. It just has to be an eyeshadow palette that has big enough pans that you can get a brush into, that has the correct colors and tones for you to do your contour and bronzer and everything. But there's a lot of eyeshadow palettes like that. So overall, I think that this went really well. I like this look for today. I feel ready to start my day, and yeah, I really recommend this. I actually don't really reach for this ever. I've had this palette for over a year. I've never done a tutorial with it. I think I've used it 5 times, but you know what? Now is the time, because I got a lot done with it and I'm really impressed. So if you are on a budget, essentially you can get everything you need for, let's add it up. So after shipping and after a coupon code, this would probably cost around $26. The foundation that I used today retails for just under $7 at Walmart, so that's $33. The setting powder I got for $5 at Walmart, so that's $38. You can get a drugstore mascara like this Wet n Wild one for $5. So for $43, if you already have brushes, you essentially have everything that you need for your whole face. Like, you don't need anything else. I have a pretty full glam look going on here using only these 4 products, and I am pretty darn impressed by that. I think that's really awesome, and I highly suggest the palette or a similar palette that you can try this out with. Anyway guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you found it fun and helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Check me out on Facebook and Instagram at Beautyobsessedrn. Subscribe to my channel for more videos each week. Just hit that subscribe button down below. Comment me down below, and I will see you guys soon. I love you all so much. Bye.
While you're drinking sangria, nachos, lemon heads, my dad's boat. You won't go down 'cause my dick can flow.